The other day, in what can only be described as just the cushiest, most softball of an interview, definitely wasn't journalism. Donald Trump was asked what he thought about ICE's actions, in particular the way that they are terrorizing and brutalizing folks in American cities. And this is how it went down.
Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out.
So first off, a number of the judges who've been blocking Donald Trump, including Judge Emmergut here in Portland, Oregon, are Trump-appointed judges. I know Republicans like to use this phrase, activist judges, radical activist judges. Trump-appointed judges, Reagan-appointed judges are blocking Donald Trump. But secondarily here, of course Donald Trump has no problem with these kinds of actions. Like any other malignant narcissist, he enjoys the suffering. He enjoys watching people squirm. He enjoys punishment and retribution. In fact, I've been saying all year that MAGA Christians, the cult of MAGA, Donald Trump, that is all a cult that is based on power, grievance, and retribution. Donald Trump, I firmly believe, is trying to punish this entire country for what happened with him losing the election in 2020 and the subsequent prosecutions that resulted in him being convicted for 34 felonies. And even though the timidity of Merrick Garland meant that Donald Trump didn't truly face justice, he's not let go of that butthurt. He's real angry. And I think a lot of what is happening now is definitely his attempt to grift, because everything Trump does is a grift. It's also his desire for punishment and retribution. It's also because narcissists enjoy inflicting suffering, especially when they receive a narcissistic injury. He's got to try and make you hurt because he's got that narcissistic wound 34 times over, plus the wound from losing the election to Joe Biden and for January 6th. I don't have time to get into all of it in this video, but Donald Trump has many times over the years indicated that he enjoys watching people hurt, making people hurt. And I also don't really have time in this video. Maybe I'll try and do it later tonight or tomorrow, talk about the ways that the 60 Minutes interview was just like an absolute softball, how they edited it to show what Donald Trump wanted. But even in these clips that they're showing, they picked literally some of the least terrible things that ICE is doing. They didn't show any of the clips of ICE agents punching people in the head, zip tying children, throwing grandmas and grandpas to the ground, breaking bones. They didn't show the video from Portland, Oregon of a stationary protester on public property having an ICE agent run full bore and slam him in the back and knock him down to the ground. They didn't show the video of Diane Figueroa and the ICE SUV that slammed into her, how ICE agents poured out with their guns pointed at her, dragged her out of her car, hauled her off, and then were like, oh no, our bad. You didn't hit our car, we actually hit you. No charges filed. They didn't show videos like this gentleman the other day in Chicago.
We didn't get the name of that guy. They weren't protesters. No, it was a car behind. They brake checked the car behind them, and the car slammed into them, and so they took the people in the car and a bystander.
We've seen ICE repeatedly pulling in front of other cars, then slamming on their brakes so that those cars rear in them. Those are just regular American citizens. They're not protesters. ICE is using this tactic to try and falsely claim that cars are ramming them. And then they think it's free reign to do whatever they want to the bodies of Americans. They just violate your rights nonstop. These are men who are completely out of control. And Donald Trump says they're not going far enough. This, what you saw in Evanston, Illinois, which is not a unique incident. I have a whole file of videos very similar to this from Evanston, Illinois. I think Rachel Maddow said the other day it is kind of the epicenter for the brutality of ICE and the way that folks there are resisting. If you're in Evanston, please know that we're with you. Please know that we're standing in solidarity with you. But Donald Trump, the president of the United States, thinks that that doesn't go far enough. Same for this. ICE shooting grannies in the head with less lethals. Donald Trump thinks that they're not going far enough. ICE zip tying children. Donald Trump thinks that's not going far enough. ICE violating your constitutional rights. Donald Trump doesn't think that that's going far enough. Again, Donald Trump is never going to be moved by compassion. He doesn't see the humanity in other people. He's not capable of empathizing with other people. And I do believe that he, and definitely I believe that Grima Wormtongue, Stephen Miller, enjoy the suffering. I think Kristi Noem also enjoys the suffering. They enjoy the control. They're high on it, right? Being able to make people hurt, being able to violate people's rights, that is a power that they revel in. And that cannot be the future of this country. It's almost unbelievable to me that we've let it go on as long as it has. I'm constantly on a daily basis frustrated that we're not doing more. I understand that we have to build the people power. I understand that these things don't happen as quickly as we would like. But the longer we as a nation go on like this, the more children are being traumatized, the more people's bodies are being brutalized, the more families are being torn apart, the more communities around this country are being terrorized. This is not something that we can allow to continue. It's not something that we can accept as the future of this country. Donald Trump wants more of it. He wants it to be worse. He wants ICE to be more brutal. He wants them to have more control over you. He wants you to have fewer rights. He wants you to live in terror. This is why our forefathers fought a war to get free of a tyrant king. This is why our Constitution and our rights are so important. Everyone deserves to live in freedom. In the United States of America, a lot of us have been unaware of the ways that freedom was not extended to everybody previously. A lot of people were very naive. And what we're seeing now is definitely an escalation, but it's really kind of the ugly underbelly of this country up on the surface now. And Donald Trump wants to normalize it. He wants to amplify it. He wants to increase it exponentially. He wants there to be no more rights. He wants there to be no more freedom. He wants complete and total control. The Republicans were perfectly willing to hand over your rights to betray you, to betray this democracy in order to give Donald Trump everything that he wants at the expense of your liberty, at the expense of your body, potentially at the expense of your very life. Please, when you watch ICE videos, understand that Donald Trump has said out loud that they are not going far enough. If you, like me, bear witness to these videos on a regular basis and alternate between being moved to tears and being moved to a state of absolute pure rage at the injustice, at the inhumanity of what's happening, please know Donald Trump, the President of the United States, says that the trauma you are witnessing, the brutality you're witnessing, does not go far enough. And then decide what you're going to do about it.